Hello friends, I am Dr. Simranjeet Kaur. I am a physiotherapist, chiropractor and osteopath. I am a Pilates instructor and presently working in Sukija Physiotherapy Clinic, based in Mohali, Punjab, that is in the northern part of India. And today I am going to share my views on Principles of Pilates. Many times I have seen people are practicing Pilates but not clear about the principles. Just doing Pilates doesn't give you strength if you're not focusing on each and every principle of it. So I'll be dealing with the basics today. The principles. There are total 9 principles. I'll tell you about the names first. First one is breathing. Second is concentration. Third is control. Fourth is centering. Fifth is the flow. And sixth is the postural alignment. Seventh is the precision. And eighth is relaxation. And the ninth is stamina. I'll be teaching each and everything, but with a slow pace. So first we'll progress with breathing. The first principle is breathing. Now, what makes Pilates different in breathing? Have you ever thought how we breathe? But in Pilates, we have to think about how we breathe. Many of us are breathing in an unknown pattern. Many times, initially we are going in the right track, but as our stressful lifestyle is coming up, with that we are just forgetting our normal breathing patterns. To have a look, just have a test done. Keep one of your hands at the chest, second at your abdomen, and breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Just feel what is moving while you're doing inhale and exhale. Is all of your body moving, or just the abdomen, or just the chest? Many of us are breathing from one point, and into my practice, what I have observed in my patients and clients is that many of us are breathing from abdomen, especially the people with the sitting jaw. They are using their abdomen more, not the chest. And when you are not using some muscles and the other muscle is doing the action of the first one, then there is an overburden of work and that muscle gets weak. But if each and every muscle is doing their own actions, then they gain strength. Just basis is that we have to focus that all of our body parts keep on doing their own action, and one action is done by the muscle which is meant for that and not by anything, whatever. Okay, I will guide you more about it. Whenever we have to breathe in Pilates, we have to focus how we are breathing, from nose to the chest, to the upper abdomen, to the lower abdomen. You have to activate the muscles of the pelvic girdle. If you are thinking about it and doing your breathing, you activate your muscles which are not working earlier. It not only increases the blood flow, but also the oxygen intake is also increased, and you go for the full expansion of your muscles and the chest cavity while we are breathing and thinking that our nose is active, our chest is active, our upper abdomen is active, our lower abdomen is active. Inhale, inhale, inhale to the maximum, and then slowly just take your air from lower abdomen to the upper abdomen to chest and then to the nose. Feel your diaphragm. While you inhale, diaphragm is going down. While you exhale, diaphragm is moving up. What about your chest cavity, your rib cage? While you inhale, it's going laterally out. Exhale, it's going inward. So you are expanding your chest fully. Your lateral chest expansion is happening. And while you're breathing, at the end, if you're doing with your pursed lip breathing, what happens with pursed lip breathing? Less of the air goes out, slow and steady is the pace, and the alveoli in your deep lungs, which were by somehow blocked or proper airflow is not there. At that point, till that depth, you breathe and you activate those alveoli which are not properly functioning. So the speed is slow and steady, maintained, and feeling each and every part of your breath. You're using all of your muscles or not. You're moving your diaphragm, you're moving your pelvic girdle, and how the action is coming up. It has to be in flow, ascending order, and then going up, descending order. Each and every part of the movement is isolatedly felt by you. So this was about breathing, expansion of the chest cavity. Now we progress to the second principle. Second principle is concentration. What is concentration now? Concentration can be a combination of things. Like, it's really important to make you understand about concentration, and for that I'll give you one example. Say suppose your mother has given you a glass full of water and you are on the phone, and she has told you to keep your glass of water from your bedroom to your kitchen. What happens if you are on the phone? You are not having concentration on the glass of water. The water might spill off from the glass to the floor. And what in another situation, if you are not doing anything else, you are totally concentrated on the glass of water, holding with both the hands, and then slowly and steadily you are moving. The glass of water, full glass of water, doesn't spill at all. So that is what we have to implement in the Pilates. If our mind is thinking about something else, I am concentrated on something else, my stresses, my worries, and other sort of things what we are doing. And instead of that, I'm not focusing on Pilates, then the full output of the energy will not come out. So to practice Pilates, your mind and body both should be into your exercise pose and not thinking about something else and doing something else. It's not possible when you're doing Pilates. Okay, you have to have a full concentration. Feel like if I'm doing any movement, I'm elevating my arms, I have to feel that. Inhale, my chest expansion is going on, I'm inhaling, my body lung cavity is increasing, my posture is correct, and then exhaling and coming back. I have to feel that I have been activating my core muscles, all of the principles at once. My concentration should be totally into this. Now our entire body is also working along. It's not that only one thing is moving. Whenever I'm moving one hand, it's interconnected. My other body parts also have a movement. It's not that only if I'm walking, only my knee flexion occurs. It doesn't happen. My knee is also moving, my ankle is also moving. So everything is moving, and I have to be aware about it. I have to be aware what I am moving, when I am moving, and how to be very precise about my movements. All has to be there, and I have to be concentrated on it. So that was about our second principle, concentration. Now we go to our third principle, that is control. Control is basically that all the movement, for example, the tabletop position, that very common in Pilates. If we are doing that tabletop position, the body has control that you are using your core to perform that action and not just merely any other muscle superimposing its work. Like if I'll be more simple now. I'll make you understand with another example. Say it's elbow flexion. If you're doing elbow flexion, simple motion, with a lot of resistance, what happens is, if I'm doing maximum resistance, I'm not using my elbow flexor, but my core. I don't have control on my elbow flexors, but my core is superimposing the action, or my glute is something superimposing the action. To have a control, you have to, if I'm doing 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, I have to be very clean in my movements, that if I want to stop at 20 degree, I can stop. If I want to stop at 30 degree, I can stop. At 40 degree, I can stop. But if I'm doing haphazardly anything, I don't know when to stop, where to stop. And if I stop, my balance goes here and there, or there is some trick movement going on. If I'm stopping, I'm moving like this, I'm falling. So that kind of thing should not be there. You should be doing Pilates in such a manner that you have control on each and every movement. You want to stop at 30 degree, you can stop at 30 degree. If you want to stop at 50 degree, you have full control on your movement. You have your mind into your exercises so that you govern your movements. That is about control. Control is a mixture of mobility, stability and balance. Your movement going in a slow and steady speed, controlled, and your balance is totally maintained. You're not just thinking about two things at a time, but only a single motion. And along with that, it also makes your movements coordinated, precise, coordinated, equal, both the sides, and anti-gravity movements are occurring with an easy speed. Okay? And we are also doing things with the resistance exercises, like we are doing multi-joint exercises. I'm moving my hand, I'm moving my legs at the same time. If I'm doing multitasking, I'm using some apparatus, I'm using a trapeze table, I'm using a reformer bed, or a Swiss ball, or a resistance band. I'm doing multitasking at a time. And that point of time, I'm able to handle all the multitasks, along with maintaining my balance and stability, and a control over my movement. These all things, all together, go for under the heading of control. So this was about control, the third principle. Now we are progressing to the next one, that is the fourth principle, that is called centering. Centering is activation of our core. All the time in Pilates, we focus to activate our core. Why so? Because Joseph Pilates said that in Pilates basically told core as a powerhouse. Many times we use the word powerhouse instead of core, because this can be easily explained with an example of mobility again. If I move my hand, my trunk moves. If I move my leg, my trunk moves. But if I do just tummy tuck, it's not necessary that my arm and the leg moves. You understand? That means how important is the core. That core is supporting all the periphery, although periphery might not support the core. So what is the main mother of our body, that is the powerhouse of our body, is core musculature. To strengthen up this core musculature is something which is coming under Pilates. In all of our Pilates exercise, we have to strengthen our core, and if our core is strong, all the periphery also gains its strength, because whenever we are moving, our core is supporting all our movements. So if we are promoting the core stability, core strength, then all of our body will get power through it. That is called centering. And another example I can tell you is, another example could be the same as I told you before, the elbow flexion. Now in this time, I told you that when we are doing elbow flexion, if I am doing maximum resistance, many times my core is working and not my elbow flexors. But if I am doing the movement with very slow and steady speed, doing it very slowly, thinking that my elbow flexors should work, I can tap on my biceps, and I have been thinking, all the mind is just into my movement. I'm doing it very slowly. I have a control to stop at 20 degree, I have a control to stop at 30 degree, I have a control to stop at any moment, any angle, and I'm feeling, yes, my elbow flexors are doing the action now, and not my core. So if I am concentrated, I know which muscle to move when. And secondly, if one muscle like elbow flexor is doing the function of elbow flexion, that means I'm making the muscle strong. But if I'm doing elbow flexion, but elbow flexion work is done by my core, then that means I'm making the muscle weak, because somebody else is doing the action of someone else, so it gets weak. But if the muscles whose function is meant, like elbow flexion is for biceps, then only biceps have to do that function. If I'm making the same muscle do their function, it's getting more strength. So just these all things come under the point of centering. I have to have a control that my core muscles work in each of the exercise in such a manner that the core strength is giving you power all throughout the body. And secondly, at the same time, I have to focus that this muscle whose function is that muscle is doing their own action. It's not that I'm making the core active in such a way that it's doing the action of some other, it's helping and supporting. That is not the core workout. Core workout is directly we are doing the core, like if I'm doing ab curls or I'm doing any swimming exercise lying on my tummy. That means in those exercises I am specifically strengthening my core muscles. I am doing abdominal crunches. I am specifically focusing on the core function and steadily progressing to the periphery, starting from the powerhouse muscles, that is the core musculature. So what is actually core now? Many times we say, but many people feel that only abdomen area is the core. It's not like that. The core musculature is all your trunk area. The neck muscles are also coming into it. Your chest muscles are also coming into it. Your abdominal, pelvic girdle area is also coming in. Your back is also coming under it. So these are the central part of the body which is coming under it. And there has to be a flow of energy. Ascending order or descending order. As I told you about the breathing, we are taking the breath till our lower abdomen. And then we are releasing the breath again from the pelvic girdle to the abdomen to the nose. So we are using all part of the trunk muscles and the upper neck muscles as well. So these all things come under centering. Now we come to the next principle, that is called the flow. Flow of energy. Now what is flow of energy? That means if any of the action in Pilates we are doing, it's just like flow. If distal to proximal, see, if I'm curling my fingers, I can move my fingers, then I can move my wrist, then I can move my elbow, and then I can move my shoulder. So it's a curling action. In the descending order also, I'm going shoulder down, elbow open, then tail. Okay, so there is a curling motion of the spine as well. When you are doing your neck curls up, then your upper back, then your lower back, then you know what is normal, anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt or neutral pelvic tilt. You choose neutral pelvic tilt here. And steadily, each motion you have control. You can stop here, 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 here. Doing very slowly, you're activating core. But if you're doing fast, you don't know which muscle is going on, what your mind concentration is lost. So until now, what we have studied is breathing, concentration. Breathing, you have to do breathing in all of your motions. You have to concentrate. You have to activate your core and concentrate. You should not think about something else. Concentrating upon your body, centering, focusing on the core. And then I have taught you about flow of energy just now. That is, each movement is going on in a flow. From distal to proximal or proximal to distal. Everything is going step by step. Okay. The next principle we come to is postural alignment. Postural alignment is really important. Like your shoulder should be broad while you're doing exercise. Your hip girdle should be in a neutral spine. Neutral spine, and your hip girdle should be in the neutral pelvic tilt. And it should be your spine should be in an S curve. And the movements are in such a way that you're having a gap between your knees. You're not crossing your knees. Your knee is just under the hip joint, and your knee just under the knee is your ankle. So it has to be in neutral spine position. How you progress your Pilates plan of exercises. All the time, you should not stress your body. Wrong posture gives you stress. So in Pilates, we go for a right posture, which will make you stress-free. Another example I can tell you is, it's a very easy example I take. If you just have a straw to drink a cup of water, if the straw is straight, full flow of water comes into your mouth. But if the straw is bent, then what happens? The flow of water reduces. Similar is with our body. If we are doing and exercising in such a manner that our posture is aligned, that suggests that our full flow of energy output will come. Okay, but if we are in a wrong slouch posture and doing, our full correction of movement will not be there. Corrected movement should not corrected movement can be implemented only if you are following a good posture. So posture care is really important. In all, it's giving you equality both sides. See, if I am moving my right leg, suppose if I am moving my right leg, and I don't have good core musculature, then my left side will tend to go here and there. I might have disbalance in my body. To avoid such things, we have to do the movement very gently, slowly, and progress slowly. See, if a child is in small classes, they write alphabets and then go to the boards, isn't it? So same as with Pilates. In Pilates, we have beginners Pilates first, then we have advanced things going on, power Pilates coming up. But we have to start with the beginners Pilates. We have to start the pace which is comfortable to us, in which we are able to initiate our core musculature, powerhouse musculature. Don't rush out that I really want to jump into the things in advanced Pilates just now and then. Everything will come, but with patience and slowly progressing. The patience is something which is really important in Pilates, and that is what we have to focus in precision and posture care combination. In precision, basically I'm just combining it. Precision is basically the next principle in which our movements should be totally precise and controlled. We have to have a control in our movement in such a way that we can stop it at any angle, and if I want my anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt going on, that has to be in a flow of energy from up to down or down to up. And each pattern, you will see the body moves, each pattern you can see the movement. You can see the movement at your hip, in your back, in your upper back. If I'm breathing, say for example, breathing, and I can feel the movement from my nose to my chest, to my abdomen, to my lower abdomen, and then from lower abdomen to middle abdomen to chest and legs. I have to feel my musculature. Initially you can close your eyes and feel, because that closing our eyes, at least visual inputs are stopped to distract. Initially we have to do it with eyes closed, and then we can progress to eyes open as well. So this is precision, giving you specific movement at the joint which you want. Okay, and in the same, we can also take an example of the tabletop position. If we are in the tabletop position, many times people are using their back, not the core musculature. If you are not able to do tabletop with both the legs, then do it with a single leg. Progress slowly. You have to progress very slowly. You do it with a single leg. Feel your S-shaped curve is maintained while you are doing your tabletop position. If you are activating your core or not, if you are breathing or not, if your knees are having gap in between or not. These all factors you have to take care. And then slowly progress from one leg tabletop to both the leg tabletop. And then steadily we can progress to the higher Pilates poses like 100 and the other ones. The next principle I'll focus is relaxation. Relaxation is something which comes on its own if you are using the right musculature. I have seen many of my patients coming to me in a scoliotic pose, in a humpback pose, and going back, totally corrected posture. And when they are in corrected posture, they feel very happy. They are always smiling. How that smile comes? If posture is correct, no pains are there. Okay, and if no pains are there, the smile automatically comes. That is the reason why after gym and after Pilates there is a lot of difference. If you're doing gym exercises, you're sometimes not focused on what musculature you're using, what core, what ascending order or descending order you're using. But when you're doing Pilates, you're always focused on your musculatures and right correct patterns of movement. That is the reason why after doing Pilates, you're not that tired. As much tiredness is felt after doing high power gym exercises. Okay, because here we focus on your posture along with your precision of movement, along with your core musculature activation. And core is giving strength to core of your body. Your balance is improved, your stability is improved, your mobility is improved. Everything all together giving you feeling of relaxation. And last but not least comes the principle called stamina. Stamina is building up with practice. If you are following each day, initially I wasn't able to stand on one leg, but after doing Pilates, my one leg standing comes on its own. And now in doing one leg standing, I can do in different poses of exercises as well, going from my reverse standing as well. How come these all things came? With practice. So So if we are following each and everything slow and steady, beginning from a small beginner's pose, doing stretching exercises all along, that is also a part of Pilates, and then slowly progressing to higher advanced Pilates, and then to power Pilates, and then to many modernized equipments available like reformer bed and trapeze table or something else, ladder bar, and using different kind of things, apparatus to give you imbalance. If you are practicing the imbalance, balance automatically comes, isn't it? But we have to go into that practice. So this was about Principles of Pilates. I'll give you one more revision, a quick revision. So first principle we did was breathing. Inhale, exhale in 3 points: nose, chest, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, and then descending order in the same way while doing all the Pilates poses. Second principle, concentration. Your mind should be into your exercise, not somewhere else. Third was control. Each pattern you should be able to stop at each angle, range. And fourth, centering, that is focusing on the core musculature. The fifth principle was flow of energy. That means you are doing each and everything in a flow of pattern. You are moving your spine in a curved pattern, opening it in a curved pattern, that each joint movement you are able to feel from up to down or down to up, and center to the periphery, periphery to the center, all the time activating your powerhouse musculature. And next was your posture care. Posture care, you have to take care of your whole posture while doing. Alignment is really important. And then comes the precision, control on your movement. That means anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt. You have to choose this neutral spine, and you while doing right side movement, your left side should be stable. Okay, that is called precision. And then comes the relaxation. If you're following all the principles, relaxation will automatically flow into you, and you will feel more happy after doing, and less of tiredness and fatigue. Then practicing it daily is the last, not the least, that is stamina. We'll build up stamina. So that was about principles. I hope you liked the video. Thank you.